Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. We are here ready to go round 14. Sorry there was no video last week to go through what the plans were. Life got a little bit in the way, but let's get straight into it. Let's cut straight into the team. What I'll do first though is go through what our trades were from last week. So we brought Sheldrick in after his really good performance against St Kilda the week before for Pedler, who had the bye. We brought Rich in for 1 week and he then went to Tommy Stewart, and we moved Harry Sharp out to Devon Robertson. So this was how the team lined up. The rank is still hovering around that 50k mark. We're really struggling to make some serious ground on it, although I do think the team's starting to look a little bit better. Defensively, Young, Stewart, Dale and Sheasel. Young was in a really good position, was on about 65 or 64 at half time and finished on 79, which really was disappointing. I was expecting a solid 110 plus score from Hayden Young, but albeit GWS absolutely dominated Fremantle, and Tommy Stewart on Thursday night really struggled early and kind of got his way to 66 pretty not easily, but he actually did quite well to get to 66 in the end. Bailey Dale today, 86, was a little bit underwhelming as well because he was racking up possessions for fun again, but he's just not taking marks. His role's not really what I want it to be. And which is what I thought it would be if I can get my words out. But he has gone. I can't see his price from here, can I? His overall price change has gone up 12k. So we've ended up making a little bit of money on Bailey Dale finally. But his match stats today, again, he's had 28 touches, but he's only managed the 4 marks. We're not seeing these 8s and 9s, which are contributing to really big scores for Bailey Dale. So I'm going to have to talk to you about him a little bit later. Through the midfield, Tommy Green back in the ton club, 104. Again, very good performance there from GWS. Zach Butters, elite player. He can have a 1 week where it doesn't work quite well for him. Ashcroft, 71. I think we're starting to see what Ashcroft is going to be long term. Wardlaw, 31 was disappointing, but again, there was some bigger midfielders coming back into the team, plus the doggies were very good today. Devon Robertson, 58 on debut for us. Again, 15 touches, 1 goal, 1. Should have been 2 goals straight. He missed one that I thought he'd kick. Again, though, he's known for that tackle pressure, and he's only had 2. So hopefully he can start tackling. I think there's going to be a spot in that midfield for him long term. His time on ground, 71%, is probably enough for him to get a little bit more involved. So we'll see how he goes over the next couple of weeks. Otherwise, he'll be an easy downgrade target for us. And Matty Johnson is someone who I'm worried about now that Fife is back in the team, although it's, from what I heard, sound like he didn't play a lot of midfield time, but O'Meara was back, and as soon as O'Meara came back, we're back to these lower scores for Matty Johnson. So I think the 93 might have been just a circumstantial score for Matt Johnson, and we might have to start looking at what we do with him. Rucks, don't even need to talk about them. They're fine. Timmy T, captain, big decision we made. We got that one right. And the forward line was probably the highlight of my weekend here. 75 from Bailey Humphrey, 82 from Sheldrick on very limited minutes. The main issues we've got in this side, guys, is the round 15 bye. So what I'm not going to show you right now is the trades, but we do have some problems. So you can see we've got Sheasel, Dale. We also have Wardlaw and Butters. We've got Timmy English, and then we've got Rosie and Taranto. So we do have quite a few players on bye that we need in the team. Defensively is the big problem. Again, we're going to be playing with 4, without trades. So I think we need to start making some moves. Lockie Cowan, I don't know how this man has made it through this long in my team since his injury, because I've just never been able to get rid of him for, other than maybe Oyster Mullen, I probably should have got him in for. But end of the day, we are really struggling with Lockie Cowan. The big things we need to talk about are defenders. So Sheasel, Dale, either 1 or 2 of them have to go this week. There's a few players that I really like, and I want to go through them with you. The first one for me is Christian Salem. I really liked and was intrigued by him from the Port Adelaide game. He looked really good in the first half against Port. I managed to see that one in the flesh. He's gone, in the 70s. I can live with in the 70s for Salem. It means his break even isn't fantastic, but what we saw against Collingwood was the marking ability was back for Salem. And when Melbourne play really well, Salem is part of that transition for them to be able to go out the other way. So What I'm hoping is he'll keep taking the kick-ins between him and Stephen May, but he'll get those sort of chip in, chip out marks that he's been really known to score well with. And look, I don't expect him to get hundreds every week, but if we do go down the Salem route, I'm very excited for that one. The other one that I'm excited for, potentially, is a bit more expensive, is Mitch Duncan. Again, first game back for a few against Port Adelaide. I thought he looked quite good, had the 20 touches, 5 marks. As long as he stays fit, no problem. And Geelong do have a lot of games coming up at GMHBA. So they go Melbourne, North, Essendon, Fremantle, Port, and the Doggies all at GMHBA. And they only travel outside of Melbourne twice. So Geelong players could be players to target. And there's one more defender this week that I'm really targeting that I think is going to help my team. And it's a big risk, and it's Elliot Yeo. Real low break even. I've been looking at him since he was renamed against Essendon, but I just wanted to see a body of work from Elliot Yeo before jumping into it and going 84, 94, 95. And in that game against the Crows, he was playing on text for a long period of time, and then he went onto the ball and he just racked it up again, had 30 touches. He looked strong, he looked powerful. As long as he stays fit, it's a risk, but I think I'm really leaning towards Elliot Yeo here. The other players that are there are probably Ridley and Redmond as a combination. You know, you probably look at Ridley, and he's probably a bit more of the consistent scorer recently, but Redmond has that big ceiling. So Ridley's sort of around that 20 touches, takes a lot of kick-ins, but so does Redmond. But I think Redmond's a little bit more streaky with his scoring, but also he's significantly more expensive. So he's not really a downgrade option for you guys, but Redmond is someone to consider. If you're needing a midfielder, the next player that I'm really considering is Marcus Windhager. I really liked his game against Richmond. Got lots of midfield minutes, does the tackle pressure. When he's going to be tagging people, he'll be around the ball. So he's definitely someone that I'm looking at. It's just, who do you bring him in for? Because he's going to give you, you know, 100k or so on top of, say, a Wardlaw. You know, do you move Wardlaw, who's got a buy, for someone like a Windhager? So that's what I'm considering at the moment. Let me flick to you my round 15 side. So my trades at the moment are not Sheldrick. Where are my trades? I've got 55k in the bank. My trades have been made, but they haven't updated down here. Let me refresh the page and let me just see if it updates my trades. There we go. So at the moment, we've gone Bailey Dale, who's finally made me money, to Christian Salem. So that makes us a big pool of money. Then we go Sheasel to Yo, again, making a big pool of money. And that's to get Wardlaw, who I do like. I really do rate George Wardlaw as a player and what he brings. I think the break even of 51 with the bye this week, you know, he probably hits the 51 against Adelaide, but then he goes against Geelong, Hawthorn, St Kilda. You know, he probably does continue to make a bit more money, but I just didn't have enough players. If we look at the buy detector now for round 15, so we're now left with only 2 on field. So we're left with, what's that, 20 playing then, if we've got 22 on field normally. So it's just leaving me in a position to have numbers on the field at the moment, because I've got Marich, Humphrey, Sheldrick, Long, Chesser. Like, it's not a strong 20 that I've got on the field, because we've also got Rosie, Green, and Butters all on the bye as well. So the other solution that I've got is, do you go a Windhager on top of a George Wardlaw as one of these trades instead? And then do you move Will Ashcroft up to be, to be Clayton Oliver? So that's what I need to consider. I think I like this option the best, because next week with 2 trades, it can be a Cowan down to a 200k, make 120 grand, and then have the 830 or so. You've probably missed the Lockie Neal train by 830. Yes, you have. He's gone and made 24k. Brad Crouch is probably the same. He's in the 850s and his break even's, 84, so he's probably gone as well. If you're looking in that price ranges of 800k or so, and you're going to go average last 3, Sam Walsh becomes available to you with a break even of 133 off the buy. That could be the play for me off of the buy. So make 100 grand and then put that, 100 grand on top of Ashcroft, and hopefully he, has a break even of 108. Hopefully, he doesn't keep losing too much money, but that could be something that you look at. Or hopefully, you could get to someone like a Tom Mitchell or a Petrarca at 890. I mean, I know that's a lot more, than you around the 800 bracket, but Shy Bolton could be someone who you look at. You look at Warner, I wouldn't go near. So it could be that it's Sam Walsh at 820 and you take a risk. So they're the thoughts that I'm having at the moment, guys. Let me know what you're doing in the comments. Let me know if you really disagree with my trades. I am far from a fantasy expert as well here, guys, but hopefully what I'm doing is making some sense. Or if you've got any feedback, let me know. But I will see you guys hopefully this week for another video as well to go through what my trades do look like. These are just my early thoughts, but I am very, very excited to see if we can bring this number inside the top 25k. But I'll see you guys later on in the week for some more fantasy content.